Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Ted. Today I'm presenting what is new in Cloud Canada Edition version 2.0.1. Okay, this event is in collaboration with Skype for Business User Group, Singapore. And then I would like to, first of all, I would like to thanks for everyone who taking their time and joining with us today. And at the same time, I would like to thanks everyone for showing up today. And then we will be starting this live broadcasting now. Okay, first of all, I would like to briefly introduce myself. I'm Ted. I'm working as a UC engineer. I'm working for the Radiance Communication Pty Limited in Singapore. And we have been deploying Skype for Business, and then we have been doing for the Skype for Business UC communication and for a broad array of customers across region and beyond. All right. So today, I would like to talk about what is new in Skype for Business, Cloud Canada Edition, version 2.01. Okay. First of all, I would like to introduce what is our key learnings and then what is the focus that the broadcasting is all about. And then the first point come into this the learning is that the media bypass is a big introduction and a big addition to Skype for Business CCE 2.0.1 because previously there is no media bypass. There is a very big win for CCE, and then at the same time it also support the up to 16 appliance in one single site. This is also a big improvement compared to all previous version Microsoft released so far. And then we will talk about all security features and so on in our a few slides later. All right. First of all, I noticed that some are quite new to the what is Skype for Business, what is the Cloud Canada Edition. So I would like to go back to very basic because so that everyone can have a very basic and the clear understanding of what is CCE all about before we introduce to the high level and then very detailed about what new are brought into the CCE 2.0.1. Okay, in fact, the Cloud Canada Edition is a hybrid Skype for Business offering, and then it has a set of the virtual machine packed inside the Hyper-V environment. It allows you and it enables you to have the PSTN calling, the hybrid and the bridging with Skype for Business online. Let's say, for example, in your environment, you have the PSTN line, you have existing SIP trunk. All right. At the same time, you would like to have the Skype for Business and Cloud PBA features such as audio, video, like content sharing, like the auto attendance, voicemail, call forwarding, conferencing online, all that. These are all like the Cloud Skype for Business online features. You would like to integrate the Skype for Business online features. And then also, you also would like to have the PSD and calling together. In this case, CCE comes into the picture. CCE will allow you to have the PSD and calling at the same time, making full use or leveraging on Skype for Business, the features. Okay, if you can see in the picture, the Skype at the right-hand side, the Skype for Business Online is already in place, and then it is the out-of-the-box offering from Microsoft Cloud. And then you implement and you put CC appliance that I will talk about it a bit more later, and then in your on-premise, and then integrate it with your existing the voice gateway or session border controller, so that you can have the whole ecosystem of having the Cloud PBA features such as call, content sharing, etc. plus the PSD and calling together. Okay, this is for the all sort of customer in terms of let's say, for example, you may have existing line, and at the same time you are thinking to go to full swing to the cloud, or you even thinking about the migrating to the cloud. In this case, this comes into the picture. It is also take note that the CCE doesn't support coexistence with your existing on-premise link or on-premise Skype for Business. It's only pure cloud-based the CCE hybrid environment. Okay, but there is one good news from Microsoft though, is that it's not confirmed yet. They will be announcing big news coming in US for the CCE coexistence with the existing Skype for Business on-premise and there's a link on-premise. It is coming soon. All right, so I will move on. This is how CCE look like. CCE, as I mentioned just now, CCE is in fact a pack of like 4 VMs, like each server. They have the CMS server, mediation server, and domain controller. These all are packed together. It is when you are deploying CCE, it is a very simple setup, a very like straightforward and like get to the job setup. So you don't need to worry so much about like infrastructure or like having like to host a lot of stuff. It is like quick and easy and straight to the point installation. Microsoft make it so easy and so straightforward that it can deploy within a matter of days. All right, and then I also would like to talk about the very basic, how the call come into the picture. Let's say for example, like the Dave is in cloud user, but currently he is on premise. All right, so he want to make a call, PSTN outgoing call to the PSTN outgoing call. So first of all, he have to log into Skype for Business Online, and then he have to send his signaling all the way to Skype for Business Online, and Skype for Business Online will do the reverse number lookup and then fail because this number he's calling out is not in the Skype for Business environment. So Skype for Business Online will relay the message to the H server. H server will receive and pass it to mediation server. Mediation server will process the call and then talk to the PSTN gateway, and then users are connected. Once the call is engaged, the user will no longer talk or do all the way to Skype for Business Online. The user will talk between user, mediation server, and gateway. Okay, this for outgoing call. Okay, incoming call is also the same. And someone is calling to Skype for Business user. Currently, the user is on premise. The gateway will pass the message to mediation server. Mediation server will pass to H server, and H server will locate, and Skype for Business Online user online will locate the number. And then once the Skype for Business Online does the reverse number lookup, and it found Dave user, so its number is matched. And then also the Skype for Business Online look up the point of present. Point of present is currently Skype for Business Online knows that the Dave is currently in the LAN environment in the on-premise. So the message will relate to the div. So if you when the message is come, the media path between the user and gateway is not all the way to the H server. The media path is between PSTN, mediation server, and mediation servers to the user. This is how the incoming call work. All right. Now I will talk about the component that made up of the CCE. CCE, in fact, essentially have 4 VM in total. One is H component. H component is the guy who talk to Skype for Business Online. It's peer sitting Skype for Business Online. And then you also have the CMS. CMS, in short, it is in fact a storage system. It stores the configuration file, your topology file, and also like file sharing. It's stored on CMS. And then you have domain controller. The domain controller is to provide you edit directory domain service or the VM. Starting with like the CCE 2.0, each server itself also joined to the domain. Okay, this one I will talk about a little bit later. Then the VM will be joining to the domain. Then not only because it's also provided directory domain services, but also it is one more important service, which is called edit directory certificate service. Because the link in Skype for Business is all about certificate. Because why? Because all the authentication are based on the MTLS and TLS based the authentication. So certificate is very critical in Skype for Business. Like say, for example, your certificate expire, it is very sure that Skype for Business client no longer can log into your Skype for Business because the certificate has been expired. So this is how much it is critical to have a very valid and have a valid and unexpired certificate to be in place. Okay, and then the last one is mediation component. This is also very critical because this is a very basic guy. The mediation component is the one that doing the protocol mapping, the coding, encoding, also talking to PSTN gateway, the handling call, or is the processing right on top of mediation component. Okay, so now since I have covered a very basic understanding of what is CCE, how the call flow in, what makes out of the CCE, or what components are there in CCE, then we will talk about we will bring this topic up to Skype for Business CCE version 2.0.1. Okay, the big win in CCE 2.0.1 is there is media bypass. Okay, and then also like more the appliance parsite added on. Also disable SSL 2.0. This one I will cover later. Okay, and then also like a few cumulets that allow us to do our job more easily and then more efficiently. Okay, why we do media bypass? Media bypass improve the voice quality. Just now I mentioned mediation, mediation is the one that handling the overwhelming calls. It could be like so huge, and then so the overwhelming for mediation server to manipulate and then to make the call go in. A lot of calls. Let's say for you could probably imagine like an organization having like 100 consecutive call or like 500 consecutive call. How busy the mediation server would be. Okay, so being media bypass is that we will bypass this media traffic to mediation server and straight away goes to the SSB and voice gateway. Now, if you can see in the picture, the media flow and the Skype for Business client place PSD and call to external number. Media flow from Skype for Business client to Cloud Connect mediation server, and then go to Skype for Business or gateway, as shown in the following diagram. Okay, so the mediation path is always between Skype for Business client, mediation server, and then through mediation server to SSB gateway. The client, in this scenario, client, we do not enable media bypass yet. Then we have to understand how the media and the signaling flow. The green color represent the signaling, the red color represent media path. If you can see, the green color is always signaling. Signaling is the whole full one circuit. All right. The mediation is always between client, mediation server to the gateway. So the Skype for Business client user always talk to the SBC through mediation server before media bypass. Okay, now we talk about with media bypass. What difference does it make? Okay, the difference is that with media bypass, signaling takes the same path, but media flow directly between Skype for Business client and SSB gateway, as you can see in the picture. And also, you have to ensure that there is no the firewall filtering rule between Skype for Business client and SSB gateway, because if you have firewall between the Skype for Business client network and the Skype or this SBC gateway, there would be the obstruction, the call will fail. And then media bypass, in fact, improve voice quality by reducing latency, also the endless translation, also packet loss, and then the amount of point of potential failure, because you are having a lot of mediation server in between to talk to SPC gateway. And then also scalability can be improved because it eliminates media processing for the bypass call, and then reduce the load on mediation server tremendously. Let's say, for example, you will have probably 500 users. You have to set up 2 appliances to handle 500 concurrent call. But now you can reduce it to 1 appliance using media bypass. Okay, if you enable media bypass, internet client on the supported version do not need mediation server. But it is also quite important to take note is that not everyone benefit from the media bypass. Who are they? They are people from external user. They will never ever use media bypass. All right, why? Because the traffic has to go through each server. So the media will always go through each server. So at the same time, unsupported client, not all Skype for Business clients supports the media bypass. So it means the media bypass should be end-to-end, from cloud mediation server all the way to client level, plus gateway. Media bypass, you also have to have a corresponding setting in your respective link certifying gateway to enable media bypass. So it is end-to-end session, end-to-end the scenario. So you cannot enable just media bypass in mediation server and then you think that it is done. It is not. At the same time, you must ensure that the unsupported client and then external user do not benefit from media bypass. Let's say because just now we mentioned that media bypass tremendously improve the voice quality, and then also able to put up more the client's call to our environment. But remember, if your organization is the one one that having like a lot of external user compared to my organization that a lot are in internal. So your organization may not benefit from that. That we have to understand very clearly. Also, what's a requirement? The Cloud Canada version should be 2.0 and above, but 2.0 is no longer available now. It is, I think, it is very short-lived. 2.0 is, I think, around 2 to 3 days. Then after that, sorry, 1 week. Then after that, Microsoft quickly improve it because version 2.0 from version 1.4.2 is the last one. After that, Microsoft right away jumped to version 2.0, and then version 2.0 lived for around 1 week, and then they realized that there are a lot of bugs and a lot of the instability, so they quickly improve it and then fix it. Then it's released version 2.0.1. Version 2.0.1 is the last and the latest edition. And also in Microsoft Office 365 Online, you have as a tenant administrator, you have to enable media bypass. Later, I will show you step by step, the line by line, how it should be done. And then also the addition is that not only you have to enable media bypass in the cloud, you also have to add DNS record. I will share with you what DNS record that you have to add it on. And then also media bypass client has to be supported. Now we are talking about which client supports media bypass. So it should be at least 16.0, 7870, 7870, and 2020. And then remember, this all the off-the-shelf, the MSI version is not supported. It has to be click to run. So it means it has to be come from Microsoft Office 365 directly. So for more detail, later I will share you the slide and then the audio and all that. You can also have more detail on which client version you support it, and you can download here. So the network consideration when it's come to enabling media bypass, you have to ensure that the external client never use media bypass. I told you quite a few times. And then also ensure that because in the organization, far and large, some organizations they may have like a few network segment, not one. Like for me, like let's say for example, some organization they may only have like one LAN environment, but maybe some other organization, it is true for more organization, is that they have like many LANs environment, like so many segments, so many network. So you ensure that the Skype for Business client network and the Skype for Business, the SFB CCE and gateway has no firewall rule filtering. Okay, and then also VPN also not supported. Let's say for example, like you are using Skype for Business through your VPN, and it also doesn't benefit you. The Skype for Business, the CCE edition doesn't support media bypass on VPN network. Okay, this is more to information, and then also for like the quality planning. The media bypass traffic client and gateway is always use G.711. Okay, waveform coded, and also it is about when negotiate G.711. All right. Now we will go through a bit more in depth the technical, the aspect of how it should be done, how it is done. Okay, first of all, you have to log into Skype for Business Online PowerShell, and then you have to run set CS tenant hybrid configuration, and then at the same time you have to define hybrid the service internal URL, and then you have to define this the private URL. In fact, I highlighted in yellow color. If you may notice, this is like new name.domain. The domain is your SIP domain. Let's say, for example, abc.com, example.com. This new, it could be anything. Okay. Okay. So to enable media bypass, first of all, you must configure a DNS record in your network environment. This new name.abc.com, it has to be added on your production network, not your CC DNS server. Because remember, CC also come with the separate environment, the edit directory, not that one, the one that you use day to day, your production edit directory DNS server. So you have to add this DNS record. This DNS record is only internet record. You do not need to add this a record into your external DNS server. It is meant for internal, the production DNS server. Okay, so let's say for example, let's say, okay, you will probably ask, hey, I have like a few appliance and a few domain, a few mediation server. So you have to add each of them. Let's say, for example, this new name domain, where let's say, for example, my mediation server 1 is like 1.1.1.1, then my second mediation server is like 1.1.1.2. So in this case, you have to add new name.domain and then point to 1.1.1.1 mediation server 1, then 1.1.1.2 mediation server 2. You have to add like the whatever mediation server you have to add. So this name is remain the same for all mediation server in the sites. Okay, and then after that, once you have done that, so ensure that you already added your error code in operation ID, and then you have to do media bypass. This one is like you set a variable and then equal to this session, media bypass configuration, all the way on true, enable true. And then after that, you add the set network configuration, media bypass setting, and then run this variable inside it. When it is done, it will take, because before you media bypass, please be mindful that it could take up to 24 hours or a day. So you shouldn't be expecting that the media bypass will be reflected in like a few hours or like maybe like a few minutes. It is not. Okay, for my case, it's take up around 2 hours and 3 hours. But it is better that our expectation should set to at least 1 day. Okay, so now what it is done is you are staying in Skype for Business Online PowerShell. Okay, you are staying in Skype for Business Online PowerShell. You run to get CS tenant hybrid configuration dash local store. You will see that just now the DNS record I added will be reflected here. Previously, it doesn't have. At the same time, you may notice that we do not configure and then we do not do anything about external URL. Okay, so we only take care about the internal URL, media bypass dot your domain name dot blah blah blah, and then you will have to set it up. And then now you move on to the Skype for Business on-premise, Skype for Business CCE mediation VM on your the Hyper-V server. Okay, you log into your mediation server VM in CCE. You will see that like get CS network configuration. If you run this command, you will see before replication, because remember just now I told you that you turn on the media bypass setting using Skype for Business Online PowerShell. Okay, it will take up to like 1 day, 2 hours, 3 hours, and all that. Okay, when you run this command, you will see that in Skype for Business, the mediation server VN on premise, you will see that the mediation, the setting is stay false. Okay, it means it hasn't replicated yet. Okay, so after replication, then once you run again, maybe like 3 hours later on the CCE VN in your Hyper-V, okay, then you log into your mediation server VN and you run this command, get CS network configuration, you will see that the enable value is true. This is after you run the synchronization happened between Skype for Business Online and Skype for Business, the mediation server on-premise, running in CCE appliance. CCE appliance, we call it appliance. In fact, it is like 4 VM inside, right? So we call it collectively, everything collectively 4 VM together. We call it as an appliance. And then, okay, when we run the CCE, the media bypass command, Skype for Business Online, it will replicate it back to the mediation server VN on-premise. So, in fact, it enables both. Okay, Skype for Business Media enables both network and trans configuration on mediation server VM. Okay, how do you confirm? First of all, you can use the tracing log and then see your client, and then you will see the media bypass is true. You should see this true value. And then one thing I also would like to highlight is that, let's say, for even though we deploy the enable media bypass in Skype for Business Online, and then also ensure that we configure the network configuration here. Sorry, I will go back. So we ensure that media bypass is enabled for both network and trunk configuration. If you do not see this, like the media bypass stay false, you have to check your gateway as well. In Sonar, there is a setting called the early media, and then also they have Sonar is telling that they use the SFB module. This module has to turn on in order to ensure that media bypass true. Because before Skype for before the media bypass enable, the mediation server will go and talk to voice gateway, whether this voice gateway is support media bypass functionality or not. If the corresponding voice gateway doesn't support media bypass, even though you enable media bypass in your cloud, the online mediation server, it will always show false, because you also have to have end-to-end the media bypass gateway, mediation server, Skype for Business Online, and client level. So the whole throughout end-to-end has to support media bypass setting. Otherwise, you will see false. So that you have to be aware of. And then you also have to check your gateway provider and Sonas audio code etc. whether their device support media bypass. If they support, what is the requirement? And then please do not also forget that not only you have to check with your gateway, as I mentioned repeatedly, media bypass is very much end-to-end. Not only you have to check with your gateway, you also have to check with the SIP trunk or ISDN provider if they support media bypass. This is also a big addition in CCE version 2.0.1, because previously we only support the up to the 4 appliances in a site, single site. Now it is up to 16 Cloud Connector edition. Okay, up to because the CCE Connector edition in fact has 2 editions. One is the call support up to if you have like very the high end hardware. Let's say for example like the 64 GB, 600 gigabyte, the hard drive and all that. It support up to 500 call per appliance. And then if you have like a bit lower level hardware, let's say for example, like my environment is using like 10 user or my environment has only like 20 user, 50 user, you will probably naturally you will probably go to like lower end hardware, probably like 32 GB. In this case, it only support the 50 core per appliance. Okay. Another the added features in Skype for CCE 2.0.1 is that it also allow you to customize the SIP header. SIP header is like in email we have like header like from address to address, like a body message and all that. In SIP, the same, they also have this kinds of formatting. Let's say like from to, in this case they have like invite, like from to, and all that. So the additional edit in this version is that they also enable like the fast failover timer. Let's say for example like the CCE is like has like 2 gateway, and then if the gateway is like not responding longer than 10 seconds, the call will flow back to the other gateway, the second gateway. So in this case, so you have a setting to ensure that it will fail over to another gateway because the gateway is not responding within 10 seconds. But there is a caveat though that like in other country, let's say for example, like UAE or like other like the satellite country, in fact, their gateway in fact really does take more than 10 seconds. So when you want to do this setting, be ensure that which region you are in, because if you are in UAE region, it is longer than that. Okay, so but in fact, this you can fine tune this setting though. This one is enabled by default, and then call forward history. Call forward history is enabled by default. This one, in fact, is very important feature. Okay, I would like to share you the situation that I faced. We went to deploy one of our big customer, and then we found out that our StarHub provider, it doesn't support this kinds of like the call history. Let's say for example, like we call, they do not support the call history, so the call rejected. So we have to configure this in Sonar gateway as a trunk level. Now it is supported in mediation server level, so you can turn on call forward history in mediation server. And then call forward, what does it do is that, let's say for example, like someone you are doing like call forwarding, like simultaneous ring, it will show you the code number. Let's say for example, the code number is in fact issued by StarHub or Syntel or your SIP trunk provider. The SIP trunk provider will always look at the number that they issue. If the calling party and the call number never have the number that they issue from SIP trunk provider, they will reject your call. Okay, so if you are doing like this kinds of the call forwarding, the service provider will look up whether their issue number is one of the party. Otherwise, your call will be rejected. So this one is also good addition. And then also good for some developer, because some developer, and then like let's say for example like call accounting solution, like the call reporting solution, they use this header to make a report, a very comprehensive and very detailed report using this kind of header. Otherwise, they can't do that. Okay, let's be started identity. Let's say in fact, it's from address, like you calling from SIP address, your number, like which gateway that you are coming from. Also, it is also added. One good thing is added is that previously when like people are like the generating and retrieving the report is in fact like quite confusing, because I have like not only CCE, I also have like Skype for Business. I have a few trunk. So when the report come out, both are showing CCE, also agent also showing me that it is like mediation server. And then also the other, the mediation server or Skype for Business on premium, I have it also. The report, when the report come out, is showing that it's coming from mediation server. But so to differentiate between the two, Microsoft added additional words called CCE mediation server. So it makes very clear that the core and the trunk coming from this CCE server. Okay, this is a big thing, because I have a very hard time the convincing our customer to enable the SSL 2.0. I mean, previously until up to 1.4.2 CCE version, because the nowadays customer are very the mindful and very stringent when it comes to security, because it proven that they have to be cut their environment, because security SSL 2.0 has many vulnerabilities. Okay, I know you need to talk about it. So we went in and then we deployed CCE, and then customer has like the problem software. They probe that, hey, your CCE is in fact turned on SSL 2.0. It is really the red flag, because our organization doesn't allow CCE 2.0 running in our environment. It is a big compromise for them. So we try to convince that customer is like unconvinced, because this for them is no go. And then so we have to we get help from Microsoft to convince the customer that this CCE is like secure by design, and then also use like certificate-based authentication and all that. Finally, customer managed to saw through and all that. But the thing is that for most organizations, this is a very big concern. So I would like to share. Okay, so if you log into your CCE VM using version 2.0.1, you will see that all CCE VM are by default and disable SSL 2.0. You will see enable 0 mean disable. So all the VM is 2.0 disabled. For me, this is one of the most the attractive improvement in CCE 2.0.1 compared to other, because this is immediate impact when we are going to the customer side, and they do not allow SSL 2.0 enable. And then, okay, also at the same time, it is very good that we share, because by contrasting what happened before, what is the previous version like, and then now what is the improvement. So we can have a very very striking differences. What is happened previously and what is improvement. Because previously, if you ever turn off your SSL 2.0, you will see that SQL server installed on your Skype for Business mediation server will be down. So your mediation, let's go ahead that your mediation server is down, because the SQL store all your mediation server information. So you cannot really turn off. You must turn on SSL 2.0 in up to version 1.4.2. So now it is very good that we can turn off SSL 2.0 in our network. So Skype for Business CCE 2.0.1 support this now. It is a very good addition, and then a very enhanced security improvement, enhancement and security improvement come to CCE version. Also, they also introduced the new command called import CCE configuration. Let's say, for example, now I have the CCE version 2.0.1, and then let's say, for example, I want to make changes in my CCE configuration. So what I have to do is that I go to my CCE configuration file, and I add like additional domain, or like I even turn on like the core history info and all that. So I can add right away using import CCE configuration. Nonetheless, you still have to redeploy CCE. Let's say, for example, if you type this command, import that CCE configuration, you will see that the CCE is asking you to redeploy CCE. So you say, sorry, you say have to uninstall your CCE appliance and register, then import configuration, and then register and install CCE appliance again. Okay, this is also a very good improvement. A lot of customers will love it because it comes with self-healing and then self-remediation mechanism. This that we have never seen before. This is pretty amazing and quite the remarkable improvement comes to Microsoft CCE. So let's say, for example, you shut down all your VM, you shut it down. Okay, you shut it down all your CCE VM, and then probably 5 minutes or 5 to 6 minutes later, you will see that CCE will start one by one slowly, starting with edit directory. Make sense? Because edit directory, the one has to be up first, because it all has to register to edit directory and look up edit directory information to do their job. So this is a good thing. Let's say, for example, you can even tell customer that, okay, assuming that you have power outage, like you have accidentally, you are the power outage happened, or your network connection down, the CCE will auto remediate itself. Shut it down and remediate itself. And then not only the VM, the level, it also has the remediation service in service level. I turn off the remediation service manually, and then 1 minute and 30 seconds later, it is restarted by itself. It is like self-healing. It is monitored by CCE service. Okay. Previously, we have to have the global administrator in order to deploy CCE version. It's no longer necessary. You can be the Skype business administrator role to deploy CCE. Also, reduce number of passwords. I will show you later. Okay, you see, previously we require global administrator to manage CCE online. Okay, so now starting from this version, you can manage just using Skype business administrator role. At the same time, you can also set the credential. That one I will cover more later. Let's say, for example, you would like to change the password, or you would like to reset your password. You can do it by using this command called set credential account type. Okay, it is not necessary you have to type everything. You have to let's say, for example, I just want to change only VM admin. Okay, VM admin is your virtual machine admin. So you just type set dash credential account type VM admin. Then it will prompt you to retype your password. Okay, the reduced number of passwords. It is also a good improvement. We do not have to maintain a lot of passwords. Okay, now the Microsoft introduced CCE version. This CCE service, the account is pretty much specific and new to CCE 2.0 and above. Okay, so this CCE service account, we use this for domain admin and VA admin. It's like 3-in-1 password. And then also certificate backup password. Certificate backup password is that you have to back up your root certificate authority and certificate server, and also the deploying appliance, because you may have more than one appliances in your one single site. So the CCE backup file, the CCE backup administrator password has to be the same across all appliances in one single site, because this root CA is used by all appliances in one single site. Okay, now administrative experience changes. Also, we can also see, let's say, if you type get CS hybrid PSTN appliance, you can see configuration replicated on. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, whatever you make changes in cloud Skype Business Online PowerShell, it will replicate it back to your CCE VM. Okay, so now you can see that the setting that you change is replicated with the mediation VM on premise at that particular time. Okay, also not only that, but also Skype Business Online also have a snapshot backup. It's pretty much cloud centric, because in cloud backup is just a click away. So if you notice, Microsoft is quite the concern about the file and then the setting. And not only it has the setting, but also he also took another snapshot of your current setting. Okay, so let's say, for example, I would like to ensure, hey, whether anything that I make changes in the Skype Business Online, replicated back to my the mediation server or not, you can have a look. You can clarify and you can confirm. You can go to the Skype for Business, the Hyper-V host server, and then go to like Skype for Business Mediation Cloud Edition / management service. You open the file, you will see that what changes has been made. So you can retrace back, you can check the log, because sometimes you would like to clarify and confirm that whatever you make changes at the cloud. Let's say, for example, I enable media bypass. So once you enable media bypass through PowerShell on Skype for Business Online, that setting will be reflected back. In fact, replicated back to your Skype for Business Mediation Server VN on-premise CCE VN. So once it is replicated, the file will be updated. Hey, which setting has been changed? So you can check what has been changed in this change has been made, whether the change is replicated back to your on-premise or not. You can do that. You can check. Also, previously they support renew CCA certificate. Let's say, for example, you want to renew your CA certificate or you want to update your CA certificate. Okay, you can now that new command is called update CA certificate. Okay, as this is CA certificate, this one is for server certificate. Okay, so in another thing is that to share with you all that the update CC service certificate, if you do that, but it will the updates and it will in fact the renew domain root certificate, CMS, mediation server, and H4 internet certificate, but it doesn't update and then renew certificate for authentication certificate, because remember in Skype for Business in mediation server we have two certificates, one for internet certificate, one for the open authentication certificate. It doesn't renew that though. And then another thing to take note is that you still have to renew your external certificate manually. It makes sense because we do not have like the automated renew mechanism between cloud, the CCE appliance to GoDaddy or CCE appliance to DigiCert. It doesn't have this mechanism yet. So the CCE server certificate you still have to manually renew. Also, you can also change your domain and its password and VNA password. Okay, so just now as I mentioned, you can change to let's say like you set CC credential account type. You type what the account that you want to change. You want to make changes. Okay. I would like to pause a while and then I would like to go back to the question. Any question asked me so far, and I would like to have a look. Okay. Steven asked, okay, I will make it to broadcast so that his question can be seen by everyone. So I broadcast his question. Steven asked, security layer, I do not understand the meaning of removing it to remove potential potential vulnerability. Okay, in fact, the security vulnerability is still in the picture, but the thing is that we managed to reduce it. The point is that we managed to reduce one of the security loophole. All right. Okay, now he asked another question, Stephen Dio. I broadcast his question. He said, how long is required to replicate the setting of change from CC before it take effect to on-premise FE? Make a good question. So in my experience, it took 30 minutes to 1 hour. Then after that, I can see the changes on my on-premise CCE. Yeah. What is the supported client for media? Okay, this one I'm not sure who asked that, but I still have to broadcast this message. What is the supported client for media? How about endpoint? Okay, the endpoint for media supported client is. Let me go back to my slide. Okay, sorry, I have this here. Okay, supported client it has to be 16.0.7870.2020. Later on, I will type for you. Okay, so version 16 and above, I would roughly say. Okay, so I'm now handling some question. And then he asked, Cloud Connector ADD adds. Cloud Connector adds. Is there any redundancy for that? It's possible it will be down. Okay, this question, I'm not very sure what he meant. Anyone who has some idea, could you please chip in? All right.
Hey, Ted.
Hi, yes.
What you do is you record the question down and you will post it on the Facebook user group, okay?
Okay, sure. Okay, I will move on.
Yeah, because sometimes you can't get all the answers right away. So take it down and then put it out on the Facebook.
Okay.
Eventually. All right, cool.
Cool. Okay, so another thing is that previously we cannot, reset our password, and then because in order to reset or change our password, to change our password, we have to delete the file and then redeploy, and then they ask me new password. In fact, now we can change it. So we can change the after deployment and post deployment CCE. You can change the admin password, domain name password, CCE backup password. Okay, upgrading to CCE version. Before that, I would like to remind you all that please upgrade your CCE to the latest version ASAP, because Microsoft, based on our experiences, Microsoft is making known that any version previous to current 2.0.1, let's say up to version 1.4.2, okay, you have to upgrade to version 2.0.1 as soon as possible, because Microsoft is giving you 60-day notice. After 60-day notice, it will no longer be supported. In Microsoft, we are saying is that it's no longer be supported means maybe a few months time, or even 1 year time, you can no longer make a call. The service will no longer be available. Okay, so ensure that you upgrade your CCE, current CCE, maybe 1.4.1 or 1.4.2 to the latest CCE version. It's very important that you do that. And then you may ask question, how easy it is? I will show you how. Okay, so before I talk about technically how it should be upgraded, I would like to talk about the supported upgrade path, because it could be automatic and it could be manual. So whichever way you, sorry. Okay, so you can do in place upgrade. In place upgrade means it is like automatic upgrade. A moment. Okay, so in place upgrade means you can do the automatic upgrade directly from the Skype for Business Online. Okay, if you turn on, because by default, whenever you deploy Skype for Business CCE appliance, the default is the update is turned on. Okay, so basically means that whatever the date and time you set, or by default date and time, the CCE will be updated automatically. Okay, automatically. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, the big update detected based on the schedule window that you define or the default time frame, and then the big update task is triggered. Okay, the Cloud Connector will download site a query, and if there any new bill detected during the time frame, then the update will occur. The appliance will be put in the maintenance mode, and then the application status is updated in the new tenant showing the status of maintenance. Okay, and then status. Okay, because later on I will show you the screenshot. Once the CCE upgrade is going on, you will see two things. If you log onto PowerShell Online, Skype for Business PowerShell Online, and then check run the command, and then you will see that your Skype for Business appliance is in maintenance mode, and the deployment status is equal to upgrading. Okay, and then also with the newer version, then the date and the time of the update started, and then the Cloud Connector bits are downloaded, then CCE management service is stopped, and then Skype for Business, the online Cloud Connector addition software is updated. When the automatic update happened, remember when you log into your control panel, you will see that Cloud Canada addition is Cloud Canada Cloud Canada MSI file is installed. Okay, the Cloud Canada MSI file is like in your case maybe like 1.4.2 or like 1.4.1 or 1.2.8, and then the Cloud Canada version will be automatically uninstalled. And then the CCE new version, CCE Cloud Canada Edition MSI file will be installed. New edition will be installed automatically. Okay, at the time frame that it mentioned, or that if you are getting from the default time frame, it will install it automatically. Okay, in place upgrade is version 1.2 less than 1.4 version. Let's say, for example, if you are doing from like 1.2.8, no, you can't do that. You can't do in place upgrade. You have to unregister your CCE and install your appliance, remove your appliance, and then redo again, new deployment. Okay, after you upgrade, you can run like get CCE version dash version type, or you can see that your CCE has been upgraded. Okay, another thing to take note is that not many people are aware of it, because let's say when you are like setting your own time frame, let's say for example, like the default Microsoft default time frame is like midnight. For you is midnight is not a good time, because it could be like for you is 9 p.m. is a good time. So you want to change that. Again, then before you change that, you change, let's say for example, you want to do upgrade at like 9:30. Okay, and then you change the setting as like 9:25. You can't do that, because remember, whatever you make changes in Skype for Business Online PowerShell, it takes time to replicate back to your CCE. So in this case, if you want to upgrade CCE at 9:30 p.m., you have to run this command around like 7 to 6 p.m. in the evening, because it gives the replication time only 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so this you have to send something, because sometimes you set the time and then you thought that, oh, the update will, because let's say for example, like you run the command as like 9:10, okay, but you want to start happen at 9:30, it won't. But even though the setting is like in place and you manage to set the setting, but it won't have, that update won't happen at 9:30, because remember, it takes time to replicate back to the Skype for Business CCE VM. So in this case, 30-minute time. Okay, so now this is the default one. Okay, once the default is, once you deploy CCE, you see enable auto update, you will see is true. Okay, by default is true, automatically turn on, automatically turn on, and then you will also see that the bit update means CCE your Cloud Canada Edition, the MSI file updates. Okay, then also not only NSI but also the OS update. So there are two timing by default. Microsoft set for you. You can change that. I will show you how. Okay, so now you want to change the timing for your CCE update. The command you run is like new CS tenant updates window identity. Identity is the name, that the description. Okay, let's say for example, in my case, I say that CCE 2.01 updates. I want to start at daily at 10:20 p.m. Okay, another thing is that the time you set the where the CCE setting is applied. Let's say for example, in Singapore, we are like the +8 GMT, right? So the time I apply is the time that the CCE Cloud Canada Edition take the local time, our Singapore time. Okay. Now you will also see duration. Duration means it will detect any new updates from Microsoft Cloud is happening or not. It will detect 4 hours. Okay, it doesn't mean that the update time window will start at 4. No, this duration means that I will be detecting. I will be like looking around. Is there any updates or not for 4 hours? Okay, not that the update has to be happen within 4 hours. No, it is not the case. Okay, so once I applied it, then so I can apply. So next slide, you will see at the same time. Oh, okay, sorry. Previously I am changing CCE update windows. Okay, now I will change to window OS update. OS update windows. OS update window, you also use the same timing, the same command. Remember, but if you start doing weekly, you have to define dates. Sorry, you have to define days. Let's say for example, like weekly you want to happen on Monday, on Sunday, on Thursday, etc. So you have to define. So when you define to that, okay, so this the first chunk and the second chunk is are default by Microsoft. The third and the fourth are my customized time. Okay, so now if you run the command get CS tenant update window, you will see there 4 timings. Okay, at the same time, if you see the run space, it is like same run space, because this means that this is for your tenant. So you can take 1, 2, 3, 4. You can take 4 times from this your tenant. But remember, you have to do 2 update. One is CCE update, one is OS update. The first two is the Microsoft default one. Then the last two are my customized timing. So I'm going to apply my customized timing to my site. Okay, in this case, okay, so when the OS update is happening, you will see that the data is updating. Okay, later, okay, the command that you use to set the timing is that set CS tenant update time window, and then you define the CC update timing, and then you set the OS timing. Okay, when the update is happening, if you run the command get CS hybrid PSD and appliance, you will see the status is updating. Sometimes you log into your CCE VM, like maybe like your X server, mediation server, or like the edit directory. You will see that, hey, even though I set the timing is correct, the update is happening, but this one particular VM is not getting OS update. And then in this case, you check the internet connection, whether it has internet connection or not. Okay, by default, Microsoft turn on the firewall rule, but it doesn't matter. Even you turn on the firewall, it should be able to get the OS update from Microsoft Cloud directly. So please check your internet connection or like your DNS setting. Now I will talk about in-place upgrade. In-place upgrade, like because the version that I used, previously I used was the 1.4.2, and then I upgraded to version 2.0.1. So I run the command, I log into my Hyper-V server, and then I launch my PowerShell, and then I just run this single command call, enter.cc updates. When I run this command, okay, and then after that I go to my Skype for Business online PowerShell, and I see that currently I'm running 1.4.2, and then it is like, the data is showing that it's upgrading. Oh, okay, this means I go back, my current version 1.4.2, I run this enter.cc update. Once I did that, and then I log into my PowerShell online, it's showing that, oh, your 1.4.2 is the current running version, but it is in progress or upgrading to 2.0.1. You can see that. Okay, so after upgrading to 0.0.1, okay, for me, my case, it took around 3 hours, so it will start running one by one and all that. Okay, now another new in CCE 2.0.1 is that, okay, you see they have like CA backup password. Okay, the domain admin password assigned to CA backup password. It means your domain admin password and then CA backup password must be the same in all appliances in one site. And then you can also see, in fact, starting from this version 2.0.1, you can even display out your credential. Later I will show you. And then you can type your great credential to ensure that your CA backup password and domain password are the same. Or in case of you want to like renew or like you want to change your password based on your password policy or your compliance reason, you want to change, you can do that. Well, how do you do that? You go to your like program data, Cloud Connector Edition, then you delete the credential file to XML file called administrator.xml and then CC service.xml. You delete these 2 files and then you run register the CC appliance on local. Okay, so in fact, I filter out my password though. That so now you can start the display out your password. Why you want to do that? Because sometimes you type the password, but it might be wrong, or maybe that you accidentally kept or turned on. So you would like to display out your password to ensure that your password are the same, or the password you want to set are correct. So you can do that. You can display out the password. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you for everyone, and then I am open for all questions you have in mind. Thank you, everyone. Summary is all about we have like what is the media bypass support, like remember end to end, all the way to gateway, not only in gateway, all the way up north to service provider level. Then we support more CCE appliance per site, and then also security access advisory is disabled, and then less reduced password, and then self-remediation, etc. All right. For more information, if you want to learn more about the CCE and Microsoft Skype for Business or Skype for Business in general, you can also get onto this link to get readings and then for like further the documentations. Thank you, everyone. I'm open for questions.
Okay, hi everyone. You can ask any questions now at the moment. If you don't, you can always post it on the user group, Facebook user group for Skype for Business. So this link for the broadcast is actually available even after this is done. So you can always come back and see that. And those questions that you couldn't answer, that you wanna look into that and post that later.
Okay, here one question, is there any impact to user during the upgrade? Okay, based on my experience, like let's say for example, if you are having an active call, the active call will remain. The active call will remain. Microsoft is aware of the session that you have, okay, until your session has been like stopped, and then it will be cut over to new CCE appliance. How long does it take? It depends. My question is, depends on your internet connection. In my case, I am having like 50 megabits per second. The broadband are not dedicated line. It took me around the 3 hours. So yeah, so it took around 2:30 to 3 hours. So your expectation is 3 hours. So 50 megabits per second. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Stephen, you asked one question. So he mentioned that Cloud Connector Active Directory domain service, if the service is down, which can be down. Okay, Active Directory domain controller service is down. It is as good as the mediation server is down, because even though your Cloud Connector edition is the mediation server will be up for a while, once it's realized that the domain server is down, all your settings will be unsynchronized, because you can no longer update to the topology. You can no longer make changes to your topology. So it is essential that you ensure that your directory environment is up and running all the time. Okay, it is a potential downtime for your entire appliance. Okay, there is one question from Shankar. He asked like, how CCE is how secure? Okay, what are the VM that talk to internet network? Okay, the VM that talk to internet network is essentially a mediation server. Mediation server is the one that carry the signaling traffic, at the same time the media traffic. Okay, so this is the VM that the talk by the internet network. Okay, and then CCE is how secure CCE is. CCE is in fact run in the secure VPN, the DMZ network, and then also it is like the segregated between your DMZ network and then also your internet network. So CCE is secure in nature because of the way where it has been positioned and set up. And at the same time, as you all know, the Skype for Business is the security and certificate-based security, and then all authentication go through the certificate-based authentication, as well as the user, and then the network-based authentication. sorry, I mean the user-based user and password-based authentication. So yeah, now another addition is that the security compromise is everywhere, and then also it also happened in many places, not in like kind of business perspective, but in general. So it is good that Microsoft come in CC 2.0.1 version. Microsoft in fact come with the improvement on SSL 2.0. Okay, but another thing is that some organizations have started the questioning about the disabling TLS 1.0. In fact, this version is you still require TLS 1.0 version. So yeah, I believe Microsoft is keep improving and enhancing security, then reducing the security loopholes, and then trying to narrow down vulnerabilities. So it is very highly likely that we are going to see more improvement in terms of security, the availability, and the scalability from Microsoft. Oh, okay. Now, Shankar asked one more question. Say, PSD and calling coming to this region when? Shankar, I'm also waiting for that news together with you. Currently, I mean, the way I can reach out to Microsoft is quite limited, but I will be reaching out to them as and when. Based on my last known understanding is that Singapore is not in the picture yet. Singapore is not in the picture yet. So when is the question that everyone has in mind? Thank you, Shankar. And everyone, Stephen Joe also asked a lot of questions. Quite interesting. His Stephen Joe questions are more to security, availability, because he's concerned about downtime. Yep. Thank you, Stephen Joe. So, right. Okay. So, please keep in touch with us. We will be reaching out to you. This session is, in fact, recorded. Voice, video, audio, and contents are all recorded, including the attendance and question and answer. So we will be, I will be consolidating all the content, question A and the media, and then we'll be uploading back to you, getting back to you in very soon. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate. And then it has been a very good session with you all. I will update you all more with the latest news and the improvement from Skype for Business perspective, and then Office 365 in general, including Safi there behind me. So we'll be seeing you all in next session very soon. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice evening. Bye.